This is a bobbin winder that I made for our long arm quilting machine, and it's just a little fan motor right here. I'll list these parts in the description of the video in case you're interested, but this is just like a 1/2 amp fan motor, and the spindle did stick out about this far. I had to cut it off, and then I had to make this piece right here. You can actually buy these online, but I made this little piece out of brass. If I had to make it again, I would probably make it out of steel. I think the brass is going to get kind of torn up by the bobbins that you shove on and off. I'll wind a bobbin for you here in a second, but you just shove the bobbin on there and then you let this down. The thread comes from, the cone sits right here, goes up over this loop, down through this guide, which just kind of keeps it lined up for this tensioner, comes through the tensioner and over to the bobbin. There's quite a distance right here. This board is 5 inches by 16, and so from the tensioner to the bobbin is right around 11 inches. And so you need a good long distance to let that thread trace back and forth. The shorter the distance, the harder it is for it to get all the way out to the outer sides. And that's why a lot of times you'll see a bobbin that's built up thick in the middle. So as the bobbin fills, it pushes down on this switch until it cuts the power. So let me take this box off and show you what's inside of here. So this motor came with this little plug on it, so I just put a little outlet on the box. So power comes in and it goes to this switch. This switch has 3 terminals because it lights up, which I kind of wanted so that you would know when it's on, because once it's finished winding the bobbin, you need to turn this off before you lift the motor up. If you don't, it'll start turning again. So you have to turn it off, and then, and of course I'll show you all that here in just a second. But anyway, so in the box there's this lighted switch, and then that's the outlet, power's coming in, and then here's an arm that's used to set how much it threads onto the bobbin. So it's just, it pivots back here on this corner. Here's the screw that comes out the top that's used to raise and lower this, and then here's where the switch is. It looks a little corroded right there, but it's actually super glued in there, and that white stuff is super glue. And then you've got a micro switch with a long arm on it, like that. Alright, so in order to wind a bobbin, we drop it over that loop up there, and then down here, come around there, through the tensioner, like that. We come to the bobbin, through one of the holes, and if you'll pull out about 5 inches of thread like that, and then if you'll just hold it, then you drop this down, of course, and then if you'll just hold it kind of off center a little bit like that, it will go round and round, and it'll fatigue on that edge and break after you've got enough on there, and that way it's always trimmed nice and smooth. Now I've got you in close so that you can see how even it goes on to the bobbin. Alright, here we go. You see my thread turn loose. You see how evenly it's going all the way back and forth and back and forth. A lot of times you'll see bobbins that they'll wind really heavy right in the middle. Alright, that's got it wound. That's my new bobbin winder. Hope this was interesting to you. Thank you for watching.